I first met Abdul Murad, the terrorist, about 1998 when I was a guard at the United States Penitentiary, Marion, the Supermax prison that I worked at for 23 years. Abdul Murad was a guy that was involved with Yosef, the terrorist which did the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. That was the first one. And he went on to go ahead and try to explode 12 airplanes. His job was to be in the Philippines and put bombs on airplanes and blow them up over the Pacific. But the Philippine police caught on to him when he caught his apartment on fire. He was involved with a co-conspirator named Yusuf. And him and Yusuf, along with colleague Sheikh Mohammed, were the ones for the 9/11 attacks on the United States. So this Murad was right in there with the worst of them, although I didn't know it when I first met him in 1998, that he was that quality of a terrorist. But he arrived in the morning, and a guy named Gosnell that I worked with a lot was moving him from one cell to another, and this Murad kicked him in the crotch so hard that it caused a heart issue with Gauze, and he needed medical attention. It was quite an event that day, I can tell you. I had quite a bit of contact with this Murad. We put him down in I unit for a long time. He was down there for several years, and eventually he ended up going to the communications management unit, which was the same place as I unit, only years later, like 10 years later or 15 years later. He was put in the thing called the boxcars, which is the back units in B range of I unit. And now it doesn't really matter. They've taken all the doors off the vestibules. I'll try to make a drawing so that you guys have some idea of what it is that I'm talking about. But this Murad guy, he was interrogated by the Philippine police and American authorities later on using waterboarding techniques, and I didn't really understand what he was talking about at the time. I hadn't actually heard of waterboarding, but he told me they had partially drowned him to coerce confessions and things like that. And I mean, he's doing a life sentence. He's never going to get out, thank goodness. During Ramadan one year, he wouldn't eat all the food, and I asked him, well, why not? And he said it was being wasteful. And I said, well, what do you care? You know, you're trying to bring us down. He said that he was sorry about that. And over the next few years, I came to believe him. He's probably one of the few inmates that I've ever met in all the time I was at Marion that I believe was genuinely sorry for his crimes. Even he said that he was coerced and tricked into being radicalized, and that if he had it to do all over again, he would never have done anything like that. And he's one of the only guys that I know of Muslims anywhere that told me that he in fact did not like to fast, and it was an inconvenience and it was uncomfortable during Ramadan. He just didn't like to fast. And I was like, wow, you're the first Muslim I ever heard say that. And he said, well, you know, he was just going to be honest with me. That's the way he felt. If you've enjoyed this video or any of my videos, please subscribe and hit the like button, will you?